Cyberpunk 2077 had lots of problems on release, but what's not among one of them is the physical release. It's very ironic that for a game that set place in a cybernetic future, we have one of the best physical release in a long time. Welcome to the Physical Review, where we take a look at physical merch and physical media releases in an ever-increasingly digitized world. Now let's take a look at what's in the box. For such a small box, this game sure does come with a lot of stuff. One will be forgiven to think that this is a lower tier collector edition. It comes with the map, postcards, stickers, soundtrack on actual CD, a little booklet introducing you to the world of Cyberpunk 2077, and a little bit of advertising, and of course, the game code. What it doesn't come with is the actual game. You still have to go through GOG to download the game. It isn't that surprising since I have the PC copy and hardly any PC has a Blu-ray drive. Even if it did, the game would still be in an unplayable state because of all the glitches. You still need an internet connection to patch everything up. But this isn't a game review channel. There are plenty of those out there. We're here to talk about the physical release. Let's start with the biggest item in the box, the map itself. While the overall style of the map fits perfectly with the world of Cyberpunk 2077, it doesn't work that well as a map. The various districts of Night City is clearly labeled, but this isn't so for roads and streets. The tall skyscrapers of Night City in this aerial photo/satellite view of the city blocks off many streets and roads. Only major roads and highways are labeled with their names. One thing I do like about this map is that there are fake wear and tear around where the map is being folded. It gives it a little more character. One curious thing about this map is that if you flip it over, it's mostly blank. But there's a Night City logo, and there are some marking on the corners. If it's blank, then why go through the trouble of putting a logo on the corner, and other markings as well? Next up are the postcards. The 3 postcards came wrapped in this Night City banner. Each of the postcards show us some really well illustrated concept arts of various locations in Night City. Next up are the stickers. We have a sheet of 5. 2 game logo, 2 samurai logo, and 1 a sport team logo. Nothing to write home about, but they are really well printed. If you're into collecting stickers, these are for you. Next up is the Rule Compendium. It's part lore book, part manual, mostly lore book. This little book gives a brief history of Night City, the various different districts and what you can find there, an introduction to backstory options that you'll be choosing at the start of the game, various different factions in the game, and different gameplay elements such as skills, weapons, cybernetic implants and such. With such a focus on world building and its lore-centric delivery of game information, it's a little disappointing that the front cover isn't more like a guide to Night City or some sort of in-world design. But still, it's nice to see a game manual with this much information about the game world nowadays. Next up is the most important part of the game itself. Unlike any games I've ever seen with a physical release, Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't come with a flimsy piece of paper with the game code printed on it. It has a plastic card size of your average credit card with the code hidden underneath a foil that you have to scratch off. Maybe it's just my amusement at the novelty of a scratch-off game code, but I was really happy when I first saw it. It's also nice as an extra bit of security. If for some reason you bought this game new but unsealed, you have the ease of mind knowing that the game code has not been used when you see the card that hasn't been scratched off yet. Next up is a little welcome note from the developer team. It's not necessary, but it's kinda nice to see this kind of messaging in a game. It also promotes some free DLC, which is also pretty nice. And then comes the advertising. Of course, you have the expected promotion for merch related to the game coming from CD Projekt Red's own web store. But what's odd is that they have a trial for HBO Max. Next up are the CD soundtrack. The label design on these CDs fits the universe pretty well. Aside from that, there's not much to say. If you enjoy the music from the game, you'll enjoy listening to these CDs. And moving on to the very last item. It's always nice to see in a game with character customization, an alternate box cover that you can choose from. The design is more or less the same as the box sleeve cover. Instead of the male V, you get to choose the female V. Overall, this is one of the best physical release I've seen for a game in a very long time. This surpassed the sorry excuse for limited or collector editions that many other game developers spit out. I don't expect the amount of stuff that CD Projekt Red put into the physical release of Cyberpunk 2077 should be the standard for all games. At the very minimum, any physically released game should have at least half of what they put into as a gold standard. This video was made long after the initial release of the game, and there has been price drops since then. If you are interested in playing the game and haven't done so yet, you should definitely buy this game physically rather than digitally. In the long run, even if you don't like this game, you didn't waste your money on purely digital goods. You still have stickers, you still have postcard, and you still have the soundtrack to enjoy. What do you think? Do you think the physical release of Cyberpunk 2077 is worth the money? Leave your thoughts and opinion in the comments below. Thank you for watching the first episode of the Physical Review. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe for more. Until next time, enjoy whatever game you're currently playing.